All right. Welcome into Divided We Fail, a front porch chat political podcast. Today is not a chat, though. Today is Election Tuesday. Super Tuesday. Not Super Tuesday, just Election Tuesday. Super Tuesday is for primaries. Um, we are at 8:12 p.m. Eastern Time. Currently, I just saw the electoral map. Let me pull up a website that actually is just the electoral map and not all these people fucking talking.
I already have it
Go
up.
to if you just Google presidential election, AP pulls up.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Cool. Yeah, so right now we're looking at 35 Harris, 95 Trump. Trump has won Oklahoma, Missouri, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and West Virginia. Harris has officially won Maryland, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Vermont. Georgia is leaning red right now. Pennsylvania is leading blue. Ohio is leading blue. That's crazy. Um, Michigan is leaning blue. Virginia, North Carolina, both leading blue. So, if things were to hold, oh my gosh, Jesus, no, back out of that. I don't know how to work this map. Okay, I got it.
The AP one.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go to this interactive map so we can do it in real time here. Donald Trump will win the 9 electoral contest thingies in South Carolina. Good for him. All right, so assuming that things hold the way they are right now, we are going to give. We just move all the ones that haven't done it yet to neutral. I will vote por el mortal.
So we got Trump wins Florida, Georgia, or he's no, Georgia's not for sure. What does Trump have? I'm gonna pull up the map, or
I'm
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 gonna decorate this map.
yeah, that's what I'm doing right now too. I'm just moving everything to neutral so that way I can get an accurate. It's a bitch. I have to click everything 3 times. Okay, so according to the presidential results on the AP, we have Vermont. Jeez. Um, Massachusetts. Not.
Connecticut, Rhode
Yeah.
Island, and Maryland.
Yeah. And then West Virginia's hard. Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, South Carolina, Georgia. We're gonna lean red. Florida is hard red. North Carolina is leaning blue. Virginia is leading blue. Pennsylvania is leading blue. Um, Michigan is leaning blue. Uh,
Illinois,
Illinois is leaning blue.
correct.
Okay.
Right now it
Um,
looks to be by about 9%.
okay.
So I'm bad at math. Hold on.
Okay. So, currently, in the current state of things, this is insanity. But if these states, these projections were to hold as the polls closed, or as they continued counting, we would have going into the polls closing in the Midwest and the West a electoral count of 172 to 175, which
Mm.
is super fun. Exactly what we thought was going to happen. Um, the the loss of North Carolina. So like that's the big thing is that in this math, this 270 to win math, um, Trump won North Carolina but lost Georgia. But this year, if he wins Georgia and loses North Carolina, that's the same loss of 16 electoral votes. So he has to make that up somewhere else. Most likely, he'll do it in Arizona, where he's a heavy favorite. But I'm just going to go through a hypothetical here, and I am going to go based off of the exit poll, not the exit polls, the election polls where they were at. And this is the general polls. Obviously, that one lady at the Des Moines Register had Iowa flipping to Harris. I'm not going to do that because I'm not crazy.
Although, do remember that if Texas goes blue, I owe both of you dinner, and I already told James he could get surf and turf and whatever kind of whiskey he wanted.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
It ain't gonna happen, which is why I was willing to make that bet. And if it does happen, I will shut my mouth and never make another bet ever again.
I still may celebrate if Ted Cruz gets ousted, though.
Who's going against Ted Cruz? I don't even know.
I don't actually know, but I know that he did well. He basically called him out for being a bitch.
Mm.
Where is Nebraska? Okay, so if the current trends hold in terms of the votes that are coming in, and then the pre-polling holds, we have a Harris victory 292 to 246. Just for people who are seeing what I'm up to, I have North Carolina flipped blue, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, basically the entire Northeast, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, except for the one district in Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, the entirety of the blue wall, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois as well, Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, California, Oregon, and Washington and Hawaii all going blue. Alaska, Arizona, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, except for the one district, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida all going red. That would be in my opinion, decisive electoral victory. I mean, it's 50 votes. So
yeah, that's 3-4 states depending on the states.
Yeah,
or
I mean the biggest
California and one small state, which
the biggest thing here is in the current count projections. If she wins North Carolina and Pennsylvania, I don't think there is even a way for Trump to win because I don't think he's going to win Michigan. He might win Wisconsin. I mean, even if that flips, that's still 282 for Harris. Because obviously, like, the West Coast is going blue. So California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, those are all locked up. She's getting those votes. Colorado's pretty well in the blue. So losing North Carolina and Pennsylvania, that pretty much does it.
Yeah.
So those states coming in is going to be the big of the bigs.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's got to take one of them. At least one of them.
Yeah, he's got to because he can't afford to. I mean, that really losing Georgia last year or the last election was what lost him the election, and he has gained that state back. But if he's losing North Carolina, it's a wash. So he has to win one of the blue wall states because in my projection, I'm accounting for the fact that he has a 4-point lead in Arizona. So I'm not even really counting that as a swing state, and with what we have, I mean, he's pretty well locked in because she has a 3-point lead in Nevada. So if you wash those out, we'll see. I mean, people are saying it's going to be like the closest election in history, but I mean, I just don't see. It doesn't seem like the coverage is saying that.
Well, and I think the other part of the problem is, right, like the Electoral College, it might be close in the popular vote, but even then, the Electoral College typically makes for a big enough swing. The mixture of states you would have to get for it to be a close race would be so obscure compared to what usually go blue and what usually go red.
Right. I mean, accounting for projection here, the real way to make it, I guess, close. I think this does it. Yeah. So let's assume if North Carolina flips. If North Carolina stays red and she loses Nevada, but she wins the entire blue wall, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, then she wins 270 to 268.
Yeah. and that's probably the closest it would ever get.
Yeah,
Because
because there's no way to
I
lose.
think it was.
Get
I think it
like
was
an
designed in a
additional.
way to the point where the popular vote really wouldn't make much of a difference because the electoral college would just make it. I will never see that. Is what I'm trying to say.
A tie?
The way it's. Yeah.
You could
Well, no,
theoret.
not even just a tie.
Oh, well, you could
You
theoretically
could
have it
theoretically tie.
because, like, if for instance, if she lost the one blue district in Nebraska, or if Nebraska went to a winner take all, then they would be tied at 269 apiece.
Hmm.
What do we do then?
We put them in a octagon. Call in Bruce
Perfect. I
Buffer.
like that idea. You know what? We got to find a way.
I would pay to see that.
It's time. That'd be awesome.
The
That feels
gulag.
like that, or like maybe a skeet shooting competition. Like either of those feels pretty American, you know.
Yeah.
Not the gulag then.
The Gulag? That's
You know
Russia.
what?
I never said it wouldn't be entertaining.
America's pastime, home run derby.
Let's have him 1v1
Roger
on.
Clem.
Let's do full millennial and make him 1v1 on Rust.
Oh, yes. Bonus points if you shit talk.
Absolutely.
The match is worth 5 points. The shit talk's worth 5 points.
Yeah, and you get bonus points if you can get really close to like being offensive without actually being offensive, if you know what I'm saying.
You mean like tactful?
Well, I mean like riding the edge of like obscenities. And by obscenities I mean like crossing the line obscenities.
Hmm.
If do you
I
get
mean, I want you to get canceled,
right.
is what
Well,
I'm
I want
saying.
you to get as close to being canceled as you can be without being canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can just picture that now.
Like that song is stuck in my head, dude. Voy a votar por Donald Trump. Makes me mad.
He's just I can see it now. He's got the controller and he's like, I'm gonna use the haymaker. Some would say the haymaker's the best gun in the game. Some would say I'm the best at Call of Duty.
Many people,
You're sitting there and you're like,
many people are saying
dies
it's the
2
meta.
seconds in. Oh. Chances that whatever gun Trump would use would be completely plated in gold.
Oh my god, 300% guaranteed. That'd be the first prop bet I would make. That would be like my lock of the week. Trump loads in with a fully gold plated gun.
I should have made a crime statistics game of the week or election of the week. We could
Dude,
have
it's so tonight's gonna be
that's on
so
election.
funny on the like miasma that is this podcast because people are gonna like hear it and there's gonna be 97% of them are gonna be like really well articulated and professional with like backgrounds and everything like that, and then tonight's just gonna be lawless because it's just we're just shooting at the hip. It makes no sense. We're just watching this in real time. I'm having MSNBC tell me how to feel tonight, and clicking on an interactable map like I'm fucking 12.
Yeah.
Cody doesn't have enough weed to get through the night.
Is Cody there or should we send a welfare check?
I'm stone cold sober.
Right now.
I'm for the rest of the night.
Why?
If anything, I might go upstairs and get a. I have a Japanese style whiskey that is coffee flavored. I might go get some of that, but that's about it.
That should be celebratory only.
Oh, it's not terribly expensive and it's phenomenally delicious. So,
Like I paid $6 for a handle.
no, I think it was like $42 for a bottle.
Shit.
It's not bad.
That's not bad though.
Right.
I don't buy liquor, so.
I mean, I can't drink beer because I'm essentially 85 and have the worst acid reflux of anyone I've ever fucking met in my whole life. So,
I don't know. My wife might got you beat on that one.
oh, she's pregnant. That doesn't count. I
I'm
mean
just
that in the
saying.
nicest possible way. I'm sure hers is worse than mine.
Yeah, that is low key.
It does not count.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure she looks at red sauce and gets acid reflux. Talking about getting
Pre-pregnancy or
tests
just
during-
during pregnancy?
No, pre-pregnancy she was fine.
Oh. Oh, okay. Then yeah. See, it's not comparable. I've literally had nothing happen to me. I just cannot drink beer.
Yo, if I saw
Well, maybe you ought to get pregnant.
what? You can't just.
But
No,
okay,
I don't think that I love Cody. He's one of my best friends. We've been friends for a long time. But that man does not have the patience to be pregnant.
Oh God, no. No, no, no. I barely have the patience to sit in line at the grocery store. I don't have the patience to be pregnant.
He would be like saying the meanest shit to the doctor. Like, if you don't get this fucking thing out of me.
or like you're still in the first trimester.
Yeah, like, sir.
You better find a way to
Yeah,
incubate this in a tube. Get it the hell out.
Exactly. I know that y'all had test tube babies. Get it out of me.
It is going to be a very long night because the state with the highest percentage in is Florida at 85, and I think the next closest one is Kentucky with
Well,
58%.
we know we're not getting Arizona's results until at least Thursday, so
Right, I'm expected to get those on Saturday, like when I have company over. Like that's when I'm expecting to get Arizona's results.
we'll get Arizona's results on January 20th. Everybody will just be sitting. They'll have both people waiting there, just like, what are we doing here?
Ohio's only
Arizona's like,
41% in, and it's less than a percentage difference, which is wild.
yeah, that's gonna happen. I don't
they've
expect
got
I don't
Virginia
expect Ohio
leaning
to.
red now.
They do? Well, I have Virginia leaning red. Oh no, I don't.
Yeah.
I do not.
Oh,
Let
dude.
me switch that. That would be crazy.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
Virginia's 50%.
49.2 to 49.1, so
Oh,
it's
I got 48 to 50 on ABC News. But
Oh yeah, well we're if you do what he said and you just Google, um, the
oh, I have the Associated Press up too. I have both
yeah,
of
if you
them.
hover over Virginia, they got it 49.2 to 49.1. Literally three, not even three, 2,500 votes difference, which is insane.
Yeah, it's a small amount.
Damn, dude. What's crazy? Florida's such a weird state, dude, because they they're gonna codify abortion and also vote for Donald Trump. Like, what a weird state.
It is strange. Aren't they also like on the border of legalizing marijuana?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of ads when I was watching the Eagles Jags game about like not doing that from the sheriff's department. So like, listen to the sheriff. Wait, hold on. Oh, 1% of the vote in Alabama called for Donald Trump. I love the South.
like they had 0% for Massachusetts, and they're like, yeah, we're calling it for Kamala.
Well, they're going to do the same thing when New York's polls close at 9 o'clock. They're going to give it to her. Like,
If New York flipped, I think I'd have a
if
small heart
if
attack.
New York went red, I promise you, I would actually shit myself.
I think the last time that happened was Nixon.
I did it.
Yeah.
New York City has not been carried by a Republican presidential candidate since 1924. However, 1984 was the last time. Which is that Nixon or is that Reagan?
1984.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Ronald
Reagan, not Nixon.
Ugh,
Sorry.
that makes me so sad.
Yeah, it was
I fucking
Ronald
hate,
Reagan
I fucking hate Ronald Reagan.
by 500,000 votes.
500,000
Which,
votes in New York is a lot.
I mean, that's the size of the county I live in. So yeah,
Right.
it's not a small amount.
It's probably like a full percentage point or more.
Yeah, but that's the year Reagan won 525.
Well, they went both 80 and 84.
Yeah,
So they voted for him twice.
right.
Yeah. And
But he was the
wiped the
last
floor
president.
with
They
both of
also
them.
apparently.
Hey, New York voted for Lincoln. Let's go. Reagan. Nixon in '72, Eisenhower, which I mean I probably would have voted for Eisenhower, to be honest with you.
Thomas
Um,
E. Dewey. Interesting.
yeah, Roosevelt all four times.
Yep.
He's a low.
Hoover, Coolidge.
It was pretty much a swing state for a bit,
Right.
and then now it's been pretty well.
Harding, Hughes, Taft.
Dude, that's
Right.
crazy that we had
But those were also the times when like the difference between the parties was not nearly the level of
stark, yeah.
polarized that it was today.
But
Like
just for perspective about the exodus from New York State, when they voted for Reagan those 2 years, they had 41 and 36 electoral votes, and now we only have 29.
right. Yeah. I mean the exodus is pretty significant.
We voted for Washington, 1792. Love that for us. Aaron Burr in 1800.
Could you imagine being uh, Minnesota during that '84 election?
Why?
Just you're the only one that went blue.
That's
Wow.
they're true to their roots, man.
It's like the one kid in class who just everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna wear pink for breast cancer," and he shows up the next day in like
It's the only one.
teal, and everybody's just like, the fuck, guys."
That's so crazy. I've never seen a map like that. Like California being blue is insane.
California being red.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say California is always blue. Or nothing up.
Like
Yeah,
525 electoral votes to 13. Like, why'd you even show up, dude?
I wonder how much money he spent on that election.
$13. Delaware projected for Kamala Harris. Shocker, shock, call me shocked. Take those take those 3 electoral votes and run, honey.
Wow.
That's
Wow, Mondale spent 17.6 million.
that's a lot of money in 1984.
Yeah, it is.
It was 5 million more than Reagan did.
Why the fuck did he win by so much? Why do people love I don't understand. Only token opposition. That's why they put up a shit fucking candidate on purpose. Strong economic recovery from the 1970s, stagflation, widespread perception that his presidency had overseen a revival of national confidence and prestige.
You said
So that's 50.
17.6 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 53 million in today's money.
Oh, Mondale was from Minnesota. That's why he won it.
Yeah, but still,
And he only won it by 0.18%.
Damn. That's
he
not
won
a
DC too.
This was this. Want to hear something even crazier? This is only the second largest share of the electoral college since 1820.
What?
Yeah, number one was Franklin Roosevelt, 1936 election, where he won 523 to 8. The entire country went blue except for Vermont and New Hampshire.
polls
That's
closed in Arkansas 6 minutes ago. Or Arkansas.
I don't give a fuck about Arkansas. Like I do. They're members of our great union, but I don't.
I forget where they are on the map.
Dude, I wish we'd go back to the cool names of our cabinetry. Like Secretary of War. That sounds way cooler than Secretary of Defense.
yeah.
That it does.
I wish we could go back in time into when we had quality candidates.
Well,
That
I'll
that as
I'll
well.
I'll say that whoever whoever that dude running against Ronald Reagan in 1984 was a quality candidate. Walter Mondale.
Sounds
No.
like a TV show host.
He was vice president to Jimmy Carter. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
He's a Minnesota senator.
Didn't Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy
Hold
Carter
on.
was pre-Reagan.
Yeah, he just didn't he just die? Or no, he's still
No, dude,
alive.
he's still going. 101, I think.
100 years old.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Good for
I don't
him.
ever
What's with
want to.
everybody doing? Sorry, I'm somewhere else.
I don't ever want to be that old.
Once I hit diapers, send me off to a beach in Cabo with what I got left for money. I'm just gonna do cocaine till I die.
uh, Shocker, Oklahoma called for Donald J. Trump. 9% reporting in Pennsylvania. Harris is up 70-30.
And where?
Pennsylvania, North Carolina flipped back red. 52% Trump.
With 16% of the votes counted.
Yep. Trump. They're gonna call Georgia anytime now. 52% of the vote in.
3% of the votes in Connecticut, 0% of the votes in Massachusetts, but yet they're still giving it to.
Well, because they're not stupid.
I know it's
Let's see.
just
What's
wild.
happening in Atlanta? Why? How much of the Atlanta vote is in? I can't get one of the cool maps that they have. What the fuck?
You can. You just have to know where to look. Atlanta, 70% of the votes have been counted, and
Oh wow.
71% to Kamala Harris.
That's crazy that there's that much of the vote in
56% in Cobb County, 57% to Kamala Harris.
is Cobb County Savannah?
Clayton County, 84% to Kamala Harris, 71%. Richmond, 69%, 56% of it is counted. Where's Savannah
I don't think
County?
that's gonna be enough to take away from Trump in Georgia.
No, I don't. I don't think that she won Atlanta by enough. She didn't win the. She didn't win the suburbs in Georgia this time.
Yeah. They were showing earlier on Fox. I don't know where they're getting their numbers from, but they were saying that it was Trump was taking like 25% of the black male vote from Kamala Harris,
With
which
five. Go ahead. Sorry.
which is not enough
Yeah.
to win that.
With 5% of the votes counted in Chatham County, which is where Savannah is, 73% is going to Kamala Harris, which is like 5,600 to 1,900. And then in Richmond County, 69% is going to Kamala Harris. So,
Dude, do you
I
want to
mean,
hear
right
something
now
crazy?
she's down by 300,000 votes in Georgia.
You want to hear something crazy? Absolutely crazy.
What?
51% of the votes are in for Texas, and Harris is only down 300,000 votes.
That's bananas. That might actually be banana sandwich crazy. I might owe both of you dinner.
I mean, if it's not going to happen, but if Texas flip blue, that's it. That's ball game.
It looks like a lot of it's the metro areas, though.
Well, yeah, she's not gonna win rural counties anywhere. It's like New York. People be like, they show that stupid map, and they're like, New York's a red state, and I'm like, yeah, but nobody lives there.
Right. It's cows. Like, what do you want, dude? It's
There are
cows.
actually more
And
registered Republicans in New York than there is Democrats. But a lot
yep.
of that I wonder is how many of them are Democrats voted or registered as Republicans so they can vote in the primary
You mean independence?
for whatever.
Or people who registered as Republicans like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. pretty sure my in-laws might still be registered as Republicans because they registered, how old? Probably 40 years ago.
Yeah, I was a registered Democrat there for a little bit.
Where'd you get that statistic?
Which statistic?
The one that he just said there's more Republicans
Oh,
registered than
It was on Fox. Take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at this Pew Research and it says that 53% of registered voters lean Democrat or affiliated Democrat.
oh, that's speaking of statistics. I wanted to pull up something about the financing of polls.
Did you know this year in spending alone, they could have given each American $50 and still saved money?
Yeah, I did see that.
That's wild. I would have taken that $50 too.
Yeah, I would have in a heartbeat. I'm like, shit, I'm having steak tonight.
$50 ain't gonna get you a steak. A good one, anyways.
It'll get you a steak that you have to cook yourself.
That's true.
It'll, it'll give me a decent steak and a couple zins, and that's all I need in life.
Couple zins.
And realistically, like, not to shit on most of the restaurants around here, but I'm not going to just a regular ass restaurant for a steak if I'm getting a steak. So I'll pay the $50 for a steak I can cook myself and do it how I
Oh, they
want.
called Illinois. I didn't even see that.
Oh, that's not really a surprise, though.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying I didn't notice that they called it.
Man, they got Kamal up by a lot in Pennsylvania.
What are they going to
But
do
there's
if
only
are they just
12%
going to
in.
flop it
Yeah,
if the numbers come back and reflect something different? They're just going to be like, oh, we were wrong.
When they call it like that, yeah, they so like that's what happened in like 2000 with the Florida thing. They called it for Al Gore, and then they were like, "Oh no, never mind." They're and they literally were like, they moved it to too close to call, and then they flipped it to Bush.
Right, which my brain, right, like there are plenty of people nowadays who aren't going to be looking at the percentage of the votes in or other things. They're going to get these notifications on their phone that, oh, the state has been called for Donald Trump. There's like 2% of the vote in.
yeah,
Why do that when there's no reason to get ahead of yourself? We literally have nothing but time. We're just waiting for this to be done
yeah. But that means that's not until like at least Christmas.
that we find out the actual results.
Yeah,
I I mean, yeah, but don't call it until you have like such an astronomically different percentage and most of the votes in to where, like, say if you had 85% of the votes in, let's use New York as an example because it's easy, right? You had 85% of the votes in New York and Kamala was leading by more than 15%, then call it. Because even if he gets all of that 15%, it doesn't matter. But don't call it until then.
yeah. I agree. I mean, but going in, like New York's blue, Florida's red, California's blue,
Florida used to be a swing state.
Texas is. When did that stop? Probably
Um,
when DeSantis took over.
no, I don't think that they've gone red or blue since Gore, since the 2000 election. But it used to be like, and like even then, like when like I don't know, did they vote for Obama?
I feel like Florida did.
Let's see, Florida election history. They did. They went for Obama twice in 08 and 12. So yeah. So I mean they
2012.
since 1976 they've gone Democrat four times and they've gone red one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. But I guess we won't count 80 and 84 when the whole fucking country voted for Ronald Reagan. um, so if you account for that, then it's 6 to 8 blue and red.
So Outside spending on the 2024 elections shatter records at $4.46 billion.
Yeah, I mean it
The
was.
top spender is the Future Forward USA PAC, a hybrid PAC supporting Harris that has reported spending about $517 million. Mike Bloomberg
Not
reportedly gave 50 million. Mm,
not to worry you guys or anything, but right now in Maine, Donald Trump's up by 120 votes, 220 votes. Not to
there's
worry you.
there's 400 and what? Not even 500. There's 500 votes in the whole state.
Right, and we're
Yeah,
talking.
exactly 500. Maine is red now. That's all I got to say to that.
Maine,
Maine is now red.
we lost Maine, boys.
Yeah, we lost Maine. Well, but
I say we as in like
yeah,
the Blues.
yeah. The Blues.
Trump's
Maine's gone.
Trump's starting to pull ahead in Texas. He's up by 420 now. Thousand.
Well, dude, if the Democrats lost Maine, you might as well just announce Trump president now.
They usually win that one district. The puppies.
With
Oh yeah,
0% of the votes counted, they lost Maine.
1% reporting.
1% reporting. We CNN projects
Dude,
with
there's
confidence Donald Trump is the winner of Maine.
at that point you might as well just call it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Those
hear you.
four electoral votes. It's
I
over.
hear
That's all
you.
she wrote, boys. You heard it here first, folks. Maine is the new president.
God, remember when the biggest like
Just
fuck up in an election history was like uh what's his name? John McCain bringing on Sarah Palin.
oh, you mean the woman who said, and I quote, "I can see Alaska from my house,"
Yeah.
or see Russia from my house? Yeah.
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 Oh,
God, that was so stupid.
That made me laugh, though. That shit was funny.
It was
I
so
can see
stupid.
Russia from my house. No. Goodbye.
The bridge to nowhere.
Is that what it's called affectionately?
No, that was like her favorite. That was like her famous thing.
Oh.
The bridge to nowhere. She was like she like it built like or funded like an infrastructure project as governor of Alaska that built a bridge to nowhere. Like it.
That seems like a waste of taxpayer dollars, but yeah, what do I know?
hey, you tell me right now if somewhere said, "Oh yeah, we got a bridge to nowhere," you wouldn't be like, "I kind of want to check this out."
I mean, I'd want to check it out. I don't know that as a taxpayer, I want my fucking dollars to be spent on it.
Why did
Yep.
Decision
Then you
Desk
bring in that
HQ
tourist
just?
money,
What do they know that I don't?
and I say
Jeez.
tourist money because it's bringing in one.
Decision Desk
But
HQ just projected Harris as the winner of Virginia, but I don't have that.
whose decision desk?
It's like a polling conglomerate website.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll stick with AP.
Fast and reliable results and analysis to election on every level. It's kind of like a 538 or like a Real Clear polling kind of website.
Mm.
Vermont
So what
seems
you're
to
saying is
have
take it with
mostly
a pound of
elected
salt.
Republican governor.
Oh,
Who
jeez.
did?
Vermont.
Vermont's weird like that though.
Yo, did you
Vermont
see?
is a strange ass state.
Did you guys see the Vermont senatorial debate?
I did not
Oh,
know.
it's one of my favorite things in the whole world. I'll have to, when we have some time, I'll have to sit there and have you guys, because you guys will wish that every single debate was like that. Literally, Bernie Sanders and his opponent were like in like leather wingback chairs, just like chilling, and then
Smoking pipe cigars with a glass of whiskey
and
in a
then
study, because
they're
that's
like
that's where you're leading me in my head.
they would ask questions and they would like legit answer them, and like the questions they were literally like it was like a 45-second clip and they answered like three questions. I
God
was like,
damn,
this is crazy.
that's efficient.
Vermont is doing it right.
Correct. That's what happens
His
when you get a bunch
efficient
of
as
pot
hell.
smoking hippies in one state, dude. They kind of get shit going.
Did Bernie have his mittens?
No, it wasn't cold, man. He's inside. How
It
different
don't
the world
matter. He
would
still
be
needs his
if
mittens.
Bernie Sanders was the candidate in 2016, man. How different the fucking world would be.
You think he would win?
Yes. Every single projection poll had him crushing Donald Trump.
Hmm.
People, like, that's what I'm saying. People don't even realize it. Like, the Devs did this to themselves by rigging that primary against Bernie Sanders and making it so that way they had this incredibly flawed candidate for president. Like, people didn't vote for Donald Trump; they voted against Hillary Clinton, and James will be the first to tell you that that's what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fair. I just didn't.
I mean, I was a Republican. I wasn't going to vote Democrat anyways, but
I thought better of you.
well, Bernie's an independent, isn't he?
Yes, he's an independent who caucuses with Democrats.
Yeah.
He knows how to play the game, is what Travis is saying.
Well, he's basically he's basically like me. He leans progressive, but the Democrats are just fucking Republican light nowadays, and that's disgusting. And I don't want to deal with it. So why would I affiliate with that party?
Whatever you do, don't tell me you're libertarian.
Yeah, don't
You call you names.
don't waste my fucking time with that shit. Libertarians suck. And I
Ouch.
will openly say that because I don't think libertarians stand for anything. I think they're all cowards.
Ouch. Ouch. We're
You
just out here hurt
you can
feelings
you're
tonight,
not
but
a libertarian, James. Like I said, you're just floating in a miasma of fucking sadness, looking for some sort of identity, and libertarian just seems to fit because you know so little about it. If you
no, I just agree with a lot of the stuff.
if you actually hang out on libertarian Reddit, dude, it's the worst.
Yeah, I don't want to hang out on any Reddit.
Yo, Missouri's going blue. We did it, boys. Kansas going blue. We did it. That'd be crazy.
Illinois is blue right
Illinois
now.
is called blue.
Right.
Pennsylvania, Michigan, Missouri, and Kansas are leaning blue, along with Maine now, by 5 votes. That's crazy. Um, New Hampshire also leaning blue with 30% of the vote in.
It's wild to see the things that occur.
Trump's starting to pull away in
Texas,
Texas.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Every time I check, he's like a 0.5% more ahead, which is exactly what I expected. But that was like crazy to see 50% of the vote in, and it was that close.
yeah, that's wild. Very much not what I expected.
Right.
I would have been broke as hell paying for y'all's dinner.
Oh, we
James
weren't
would
going
have
to go
got it.
cheap either.
Oh no, I expected you fully to get two appetizers, surf and turf, and two desserts.
I can't eat that much.
James, they have these magical things called takeout containers.
I got a pregnant wife. You're right. Very valid. I came home like dinner was on Cody tonight.
Yeah. I'll be back around 9 p.m. Don't you worry.
Oh, Maine's back to red.
By 70 votes,
Yeah,
71 votes. Oh, it's over, boys.
that's so crazy. That's like the population of my street.
That might be less than the population of the neighborhood I live in.
No, it definitely is, Cody. You live in a fucking like your shit wraps around if you count your neighborhood. I'd say like it'd be probably equal to like the population of your block.
Maybe.
20,000 votes separate Virginia. Trump starting to pull away a little bit in Ohio. 45%. Georgia, where are we at? 63%. Trump. Oh, I oh I went over Alabama on accident. I was trying to get to Georgia, and I read 68%, and I was like, that's not right. Immediately shut it down. Where are we sitting? Oh, Trump's now up by 400 in Maine.
Not
Might as well
quite.
just call the race now. Yeah,
Yeah, Trump's up.
close to 400.
Trump's up 8% in Texas now.
He's up.
30% of the vote in for Kansas. Fucking Harris up 6%.
That's wild. It's also wild that they're calling Illinois with only 20%. Just drives me nuts that this
They
is
called
what
it
they
with
do.
1%.
I know. I just it see.
No, Trump up 10% in North Carolina, 26% reporting.
Yeah.
What ABC News is showing is it's showing 105 to 27. The Associated Press is showing 101 to 71.
That's because I think the Associated Press has called, or the Associated Press might be. Let me look at my thing. No, they're not doing what I'm doing either. So yeah, they. I think they called a couple states earlier than everybody else, like the Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut stuff.
Yeah.
So, Trav,
What's up?
assuming everything stays normal,
Yeah,
Trump
I'm
takes
gonna need you to define
Vermont,
normal for
or
me, my friend.
as expected,
Thank you.
Trump takes Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia. What does that put him at?
Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah.
that's the scenario where if she wins the rest of the states that she's projected to, or that she has like a lead or is tied in, then it's the 272 to 268 victory for Harris. It'll and like many people predicted, it's all going to come down to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was watching ABC News earlier, and it said most of the candidates who won Pennsylvania in the last however many elections won the election,
Right.
which makes sense. It is one of the larger swing states.
Now we will probably get an idea of what Pennsylvania is going to do as we get the results from Michigan, because I think it's something like the last 25 presidential elections, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin have all voted the same.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So as the other two states come in, we'll get an idea of what's really happening. Because like right now, it's pretty much the same. Pennsylvania's 15% reporting, Harris up 30 points. Michigan 8% reporting, Harris up 10 points. Um, so we'll see. That Kansas vote is fucking weird, man.
It is.
Even more weird is that my dog only got one vote today.
Shut up.
Unreal.
The 165,000 people who voted for Jill Stein should just go jump in a fucking river. Jill Stein's a Russian bot. You can't convince me otherwise. All right, 9 o'clock has hit. New York, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, Louisiana, Nebraska, South Dakota, all closed. Wyoming closed. Colorado closed. New Mexico closed. Wow, they already called North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia. They're Their projections right now have it 120 to 99. What did they call? What did they? Oh, New York. Like, what the fuck did they call blue?
Okay, no. I tried to have a guest appearance on the show.
Your wife?
No.
Oh,
Apparently Joe only wants to be on Short, Fat, and Balding.
who's Joe?
Okay, well, that hurts emotionally. Um,
Oh, your cat. I see.
yeah. How dare you
Oh my
forget
god.
Joseph Lee Perot?
I know Joe Burrow, dude. I just didn't realize. Like you said guest, so
Well,
My
I
dog's
figured it'd be
currently
nice to
just
have the
sleeping in a chair.
point of view from a terrorist.
Jesus.
You have a pet who you identify as a terrorist.
Yeah, Al Qaeda.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
dude.
god.
I can't actually stand you, by the way.
Oh, come on.
Uh,
The AP hasn't called this race. All right, boys. We're going to stay on for another hour on this on recording. We're going to wait for the West Coast polls to close. We'll see where we're at. We'll call the recording there, and then we'll talk about the results next week, obviously. We got another hour of just fucking around.
Yo, look at New Mexico.
New Mexico
red.
still
Oh,
20% for Chase Oliver?
Interesting.
That can't
that
be
can't be
right.
right.
That's got to be a glitch. It's got to be 20% for fucking.
And the difference is one vote.
Right.
There's no way that's right.
No, there's no way. That'd be crazy. 20% of the vote from one state for libertarian.
I was gonna write him in, but I completely forgot if it was Chase Oliver or Oliver Chase, and I wasn't gonna take the risk.
I mean, would it have mattered?
Gillibrand, New Mexico Senate. They just called it for a Democrat who's down by 33% with 12 reported. Okay. Do you, Fox, I guess?
I mean, they're probably just. They understand the exit polls and shit.
The Senate's at 46 to 37 right now.
How many Senate races were even up?
Um, it's quite a few. U.S. Senate. Here's a one.
Ted Cruz leads 56% reporting.
11.
51% to 46%. With 56% reporting. Please, for the love of God, let Ted Cruz lose. It's sad. The AP pre-projection is that Ted Cruz will win by 3%, which makes me really sad. I just hate. It's not even like a party thing. I just hate Ted Cruz.
Not sure I know of anyone who likes Ted
Well,
Cruz.
clearly 56% of his fucking district
I
do.
said I know of anyone.
Well, we're from New York, or we're built to like have a natural rivalry with Texas.
I mean,
Are
unfortunately, I
we?
was I was born there.
Did you just say are we?
Yeah, I didn't know we had a war with Texas.
Not a war, but it's like a net. Like they're the big dog of the South. We're the big dog of the North.
Fair. I want to move to Oklahoma
California's just what for the
Why do
tornadoes?
you
For the
want to move to
tornadoes? For the
Oklahoma?
tornadoes. It's for the tornadoes.
for the weather. Yeah.
You're unwell, my friend.
Move to Kansas, you coward.
Spenny boys.
I,
Yeah, I feel like they don't do as much as Oklahoma does.
put it on my dude. Kansas is not closing the gap.
No,
It's still only
No,
35%, but man, I I it's staying
27,000 votes.
it's staying at 6%,
Yeah, 5.5. But yeah,
which they haven't got.
no.
What is there like
Maine's back to blue.
what's the Topeka's the big Topeka and Wichita are the big cities, and so
correct.
I assume that
In
Topeka's vote.
Kansas City.
No, Kansas City's in Missouri, dude. Majority of Kansas City. Um, which I guess would explain the current results because Topeka's looks like most of their stuff is coming in early. So my guess is that Topeka comes in, swings the vote, the rural counties come in, fuck it all up for everybody.
Wyoming's in with 0% reporting.
Oh,
All they had
interesting.
to do was call 4 people in Wyoming and you'd have that result.
I was selected for an exit poll.
When that happened.
I just checked my email and I was selected for an exit poll.
Well, let's see if I was selected for an
That's
exit
so
poll.
interesting. This state doesn't matter.
Right. I don't know why the hell they'd select me.
I was not selected for an exit poll.
Our presidential forecast needle is live. New York Times. I'm a slut for
Yep.
the New York Times.
Someone set my email up for the Kamala Harris Pete's Pranks thing.
Yeah.
So I've gotten 3 emails today that says, President Kamala Harris, your vote for me is confirmed. Thank you. And I'm just like, first of all, that'll never happen. Second of
The
all,
New York Times election needle is leaning to a Trump victory 280 to 258.
Speaking of the Times, the daily episode today. Can you believe they're going to record at 3:30 in the morning?
Yes, they've done it. They did it a lot for the two crap the two conventions, and they also recorded really late after the debates.
It's just wild. If you asked me to record at 3:30 in the morning, I thought you'd piss
I could
off.
probably do it tonight.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If it was my full-time job, no
Yes,
problem.
right. If I was Michael Barbaro and this was my full-time job, I absolutely would. Thing is, how I have plenty of other things to do in my life. No,
They're giving Trump a 63% chance as of 9 p.m. to win the presidency.
That means absolutely zero to me.
why do you think they're giving him that percentage?
I think it's based on the outcomes. So the way they do these projections is they look at previous elections and then what the numbers are in those counties. So if they're seeing a higher turnout, and so like for instance, like maybe a county that or that Biden won by 20 points was only 15 points this year for Harris, and then she's not making up that ground in counties that she's losing, then they can predict pretty much how the night will go based on that, assuming that there's no anomalies in the polling. Um, and that's why. So my guess is that Trump's numbers are better than they were in 2020.
That's what Fox was reporting earlier. They're saying his numbers were better than last year, and there was a few numbers where Kamala was like 10, 15 points lower than Biden at this time and all this other stuff. Honestly, the only one I care about right now is Maine.
Jeez.
Maine's back red. This thing switched colors like 40 times. And they're still only at 1% vote or reporting. It's the one to watch.
Projected winner of Delaware, Kamala Harris.
And Virginia is close. The 50% mark. Michigan's at 10%.
Yeah, she is underperforming. It's pretty crazy.
What do you think that's due to?
What do you think the issue is?
Like, what do you think Kamala under, as of right now, say things stay the way they are.
Well, she's
What do you
vastly
think is,
underperforming with black men. The exit polls out of Wisconsin, which is now Wisconsin is leaning red off the cuff, only 1% reporting. But the exit polls out of Wisconsin came out, and Donald Trump was polling at 20% among black men in Wisconsin, in contrast to 2008, where he polled at 8%. And so, where is she going to make up that 12% gap? I don't see it.
How many people get selected to be part of an exit poll?
I don't know. I mean, exit polls are usually dog shit, and especially in the United States. But
Kansas is starting to even out now? Oh well. According
Fox.
to Fox News voter analysis, I don't really know how honest that is. Um, Suburban women are 42-56. Kamala Harris obviously has the edge, but that's where Trump struggled last election.
Right. That's where she had to make up her
Suburban woman.
That's where she had to make up her losses for black men.
And it seems like she's not doing that. I mean, she's at 14%, but she should be higher than that. They just called Ohio for Trump.
Cobb County. What a crazy night, man. What a crazy, crazy night.
I did not think Trump was going to take Ohio.
You really didn't think that? Ohio's been red for a while.
For sure,
And
Ohio went blue
and his
last time.
vice presidential candidate is from Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he.
I mean, you can say what you got to say. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just shocked that you were shocked.
I don't know why I thought she was going to take Ohio.
Maybe because they said the crazy shit about the people eating the cats and the dogs.
That, yeah, that definitely played a part in it.
Dude, Twitter's a mess right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure everything is a mess right now.
Why was Twitter a mess for?
It's just people like, they're like, I don't know. Like one girl was like, I don't know if this is a red wave, but I need God to intervene, like, and vice versa. People being confident, other people being not confident. I mean, it's, in my opinion, 9 o'clock's a little early to be having any sort of reaction.
Yeah. When does oh, Michigan's closed already?
Yeah, Michigan's 11% reporting. Minnesota's 1% reporting. Wisconsin is 1% or 2% reporting. Pennsylvania's 21% reporting. Kansas still remains blue. Colorado blue. Missouri blue. That would be a crazy if Kansas and Missouri flipped. That would be a shock. I don't ever see that happening. They called Texas. So Texas has been called. Iowa's gone blue, but only 9% reporting. Maine's still
We're
holding on.
talking.
Holding on. Dude, they're counting slow, man. Maine came in way before these other states, and they're only at 1% still.
Well, there's six of them in front of a whiteboard, and they're talking about right now who they wanted to vote for. That's what's happening right now. They're like, oh shit, the Republican made a good point. And they're like, ah, yeah,
I'm really
check it out.
surprised that they haven't called Georgia yet, because Trump's up 54 to 44 in Texas, and they called it with 58% reporting, and he's up 52 to 46 or 53 to 47 in Georgia with 70% reporting, and they haven't called it yet.
And it looks like all that's really left is a bunch of rural areas.
Right.
Virginia's 26,000 votes separated at 52%. Hmm,
Imagine if Wisconsin or if Minnesota went red, they just like were like, yeah, fuck Tim Walz, even though they love him.
that'd be wild.
Right. They moved Trump up to 66% chance of winning as of 9/17.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is recounting about 34,000 ballots due to human error.
Yeah, I heard about that earlier today. Like one of the voting machines, the door wasn't sealed.
Right.
And they're like, out of an abundance of caution, we're going to recount it so that way we make sure that it's correct, which is fine. Like that's what you should ask for. That's what the expectation should be.
Right.
Yeah, that should be the bare minimum. Ugh, two nerdy white guys in Delaware running for governor.
The hell did you expect?
Honestly, no fucking clue.
New York Times has 53% chance of Trump winning Pennsylvania.
53%?
Yep.
In
That's, I mean, they're only at 22%, but
Right. I think they're
feels,
estimated percentage in 23, uh, 250,000. She's ahead in Pennsylvania right now.
right with 22% reporting.
Yep.
They've got her even in Michigan, even in Wisconsin, and then they've got her basically winning New Hampshire, Minnesota, Virginia, New Mexico, Nebraska's second district, Maine, and New Jersey. And then, yeah,
4% of the vote is in Wisconsin.
dude.
huh. So let's kill some time here. So say, let me hear both of your honest, what do the next 4 years look like if Harris wins for you?
I mean, arguably, I don't think much changes for me. I think for a lot of reasons, it's hard to do anything as a president in 4 years. I don't think it's drastically going to change my day to day life.
And I
I think it gives me some peace of mind that I don't have to worry about my kids' rights being taken away anytime soon.
I'm with you. I would say, especially since it's looking like the Senate is going to flip to Republicans, the chances of any meaningful legislation being done in the first 2 years is slim to none. Um, the initiatives for covering in-home health care, um, the housing plan to build to lessen the restraints of zoning and allow 30 million new houses to be built, like that would be an immediate impact within the term. I mean, that just having more of something is going to lower the cost of housing. But other than that, I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
maybe some health insurance things change. Maybe a health insurance act passes, but I doubt that.
51% chance that Trump wins Michigan now. That's crazy. 54% chance that Trump wins Pennsylvania. I'm watching these New York Times needles like in real time.
Oh, they're probably just bopping all over the place.
Yeah, they that's crazy though. It feels like every time an update comes in, it just leans more and more toward Trump.
I have to create a free account. Now I have to give them a verification code as if I. know what the hell my password is for this. Jeez. I'm not going to be watching the New York Times Needle with you because I don't remember what my password is for
Oh,
the
I
Times.
just skipped it. You can click the continue without subscription.
Oh, it says you need to create a free account, is what it's telling me. So I didn't see the button you're talking about. So I'm just not. I'm just going to keep with the CNN, ABC, and the Associated Press. Keep refreshing things.
She's expected to win Virginia. But like I said, if this holds, they've upped him to a 67% chance of victory now. It's a 285 to 253 electoral college victory. Dude, that's a crazy flip in Miami Dade. Miami Dade was plus 7 Dems in 2020 to now plus 11 Republicans in 2024.
So 18% flip.
Yep.
Just want the fucking needle. I don't want to.
You
Thank
running
you.
into the same problem I was?
Yeah, I signed in with Apple, but they were like, pick what you would like from your New York Times. And I'm like, this is the only time I'm visiting your website. So if you could just show me the fucking needle, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, man. Stressful. 52% Trump in Michigan now. See, the Michigan vote worries me because it's a heavily Arabic state, and her stance on Israel was not very popular with them. Real Clear Politics indicates that Trump. This was at 11:28. Never mind. I fucking hate that shit. The British commentators are funny too. They're just funny. They're just like, yeah, I have no idea how this works. Doesn't really make sense to me, but it's funny to watch people react.
Talking about like our election?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish every day that we had a parliamentary system, but I hate the winner take all system. I think it's so trash.
I mean, it just prevents us from actually doing anything vastly meaningful.
Right. I wonder what all the I don't know, man. I hate politics. Like I love politics because it's just a lot of stuff gets done, and it's a way for you to like hammer home your thoughts for the future. But dude, somebody wrote in Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. I fucking love Philly.
It sounds like a Philadelphia thing to do, entirely unhinged.
I love that for them. They're like, that's my quarterback.
Where'd you see that?
On Twitter, it was a the guy's replying to Philadelphia Eagles Nation with a picture of his ballot, and it's circled right in. He wrote Jalen Hurts.
Love that for him.
Like, I wonder what would happen.
Who's he married to?
Jalen Hurts? I don't think he's married to anybody.
Oh, who the fuck am I thinking of? Um, Isn't there like a women's pro soccer player that's married to a Philadelphia Eagle?
Well, it was Zach Ertz, but he's no longer with the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Hi, hi, hi.
Should have wrote in Jason Kelsey.
Hey, I got 3 votes
He's got time now.
for state assembly.
What?
Did you?
Really? Good for you.
Where's the exit polls on that?
Smart ass.
Didn't know that was an option.
I think the thing that blows my mind is every single one of these fucking maps looks different, and it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they should give us real time results. I think they should just fucking
Wait until it's done and then say, here's what we have.
right. Here's what we have. Here's where we're gonna recount. Let that be that.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like the biggest thing that I've seen that's throwing this, I don't want to say throwing, but like that's costing her, I would say, hundreds of thousands of votes, is the fact that she didn't split with the administration on Israel and Palestine.
I'm sure it is.
Her not saying that she would support a weapons embargo was like a big L.
Yeah. Plenty of people have issues with that. Plenty of people are not voting as a result of that,
Right. Like the
which has
issue
cost
the issue
her a
here isn't
shitload of
even that the
votes.
people aren't going to the polls, is that those people are going to the polls and leaving the top of the ticket blank.
Right.
And
I,
so
that was on the fucking the daily this morning,
yeah.
and the guy sounded like he's from the city, like New York City
Yeah, it's
or New Jersey, maybe.
a good significant chunk of people are leaving the top of the ticket blank because they don't like Donald Trump, but they don't like Kamala Harris either.
Right. And it's just this is why we shouldn't have a two-party system or an electoral college. But what the hell do I know?
We don't know nothing, bro. Voy a motel.
Oh, if you don't stop singing that song, I'm gonna beat you with my own arm taken
Fair.
off my body. Either that or I'm gonna just come drop my dog off at your house so your dogs go nuts for the rest of the night.
I don't know. I want to know what election Brittany's watching because she's just texting me all sorts of hope. I don't have any.
Yeah, I mean mine's depleting by the minute.
Every single time that New York Times needle ticks, bro, I just get sadder.
Right, which is why I just keep oscillating between the four things I'm on now: the
Because
Associated Press, the ABC, the CNN, and the Times.
yeah, now they every time I check it, it's higher and higher. I mean, Trump's up to 70% chance of victory now.
I mean, I think probably what Brittany is watching is CNN because it looks like the entire Northeast, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, DC, all of that and up is blue. Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, and Colorado are blue,
Right.
leaning blue. So that's probably what she's watching.
I mean, she's got something. She's on a bit of a. She said she's basically saying that Gwinnett County is a Democratic stronghold. They have 400,000 ballots that are not reported, um, and the margin of difference in Georgia right now is 200,000. So, assuming that that were to go like 60-40 for Kamala Harris, that erases that Trump lead. So, she's thinking that that could
Uh,
still swing. I
I
don't
mean,
I don't see it, but
There's still 7 more counties that haven't reported anything yet.
right. They've New York Times has 81% chance of Trump winning the entire election. Now, I understand that they're doing this like sports where like, the Yankees for
where do you see 81? I see 69.
where do you see I'm looking if you
Oh, you're talking about Georgia specifically.
yeah, 78%
Okay.
chance for Trump. Well, that just dropped actually, 78%. But they're doing this like James, you probably would know. They're doing it like ESPN does those fucking chance to win graphs.
Oh
Um,
my fuck, those
Yeah,
are
I'm not a big
annoying as
fan.
hell.
yeah, where the Yankees were like 80% chance to win in the seventh inning of Game Six of the World Series, and then they just fucking didn't.
Beefed
Um,
it
yeah,
entirely.
they just fucking did not. Did not do
I don't
it.
want to talk about that. Okay, I'm
Mm, you a little sad.
still not over that.
Just
I'm
taking
still
It's
not
okay,
over that.
pumpkin.
just taking
It's
L
okay.
after L the last 2 weeks, dude.
Just
Uh,
eating them for fucking
I've
breakfast.
maybe got another 5 good minutes in me, and then I've just got nothing left.
Okay, you can't make it 23 minutes.
I mean, looking at this, being depressed, not really. No,
All right.
I've maybe got another good 5 minutes. Because at this point, I'm just watching this stupid fucking needle go up and down.
Well, that's pretty much what the whole night is, anyways.
Right. I'm just gonna go watch something else that is distracting.
You would be happy, once Washington, Oregon, California come in and they all go blue.
Yeah. I mean, that'll provide some degree of joy, but that's not something I didn't already fucking know.
Dude, Kansas is literally tied. 44% reporting, 49.2 to 49.2, a difference of 64 votes.
Where are you seeing that?
On the AP.
Okay.
Hover over Kansas.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
She's leading by 74 votes. That's bananas.
Yeah, that's going to go. The Kansas is going to flip right here soon. She was up by, I want to say 30% at the beginning. I mean, he's
She's
even
also
winning.
holding a lead in Missouri, which
He's
is shocking.
he's even winning the popular vote. I mean, that's going to completely change once California comes in, but still.
Yeah.
Another thing that's very interesting is on CNN, Missouri is called for Trump, even though he has less votes than Kamala.
Yeah.
God, I hate this fucking system. It's
I
so
mean,
stupid.
where is it? Where's Missouri
That's not
at?
even the system. That's just media's
Right, but that's what I'm
wanting to
saying.
be the
Like,
first to call it.
On the New York Times website, Missouri's plus 95% for Trump chance of victory. So I mean, what do we got for Kansas? Where's Kansas on here? Kansas is a plus 95% chance of victory for Trump. Yeah, the polls, the last polls prior to the election had him plus 17 points.
I also hate that we're fucking relying on these polls instead of actual numbers of votes.
Well, they can only go by
You
polls
know what I
until
don't
the
get?
numbers are in.
How does it
Right.
how does it take so long to report when you're putting it in a machine? That mean machine should be counting all day. No?
Some
Like,
states require you to do a double check before you can verify.
oh my goodness. I mean, that's probably a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, okay, but
All right, fellas. I will catch you another time. We'll have more to talk about next week, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Have a good night, guys.
you too.
have a good night.